Welcome to the Footy Wrap for Round 7. Your host Jeff Wortman here, back from Italy, and comedian Paul Hogan.
Oh,
Paul?
Comedian?
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. I prefer comic.
I've been away OS for a week or so bring me up to speed on what's happening.
Oh, right. Well, not a lot has happened since you've been gone.
Yep.
Suddenly, the Kangaroos are a powerhouse side. They've won 3 games in a row, and they're looking fantastic.
Yeah.
Geelong absolutely annihilated the Tigers. Geelong, I think, beat them by
Just make it
150 or something.
Geelong
scored like 222 against Richmond and just absolutely...
And then they beat West Coast on the weekend over in Perth or something.
No, well, they beat West Coast in Kinninya Park, Geelong did.
That's a good one.
And you haven't heard any of this?
No.
Richmond are doing really badly, so they made Jasper retire.
They sacked their best defender.
No, Jeff. It's true. This is what's happened since you've been gone.
Oh.
Yeah. And Chris Judd has cancer.
Paul, one thing I did hear about on the weekend was there was a good old-fashioned brawl at the MCG.
There was a melee.
You were at the G, weren't you?
I was at the G.
So,
bring back the biff.
Tell me what happened.
Well, from what I can gather, there was an altercation between Thomas and Murphy very early on in the game before the first bounce. Brendan Favola has
Mark Murphy and Dale Thomas.
Yeah. And obviously Brendan Favola is like an elephant because he never forgets. Because at the end of the first quarter, Favola decided to run through Collingwood's sort of little huddle there as they were getting ready for Mick to address them.
Dermot Brereton style.
Yeah, and I think Didak was leading over to do up his shoelace, and Brendan Favola sort of ran through and missed him and bounced off Josh Fraser. Then it was an all-in, and there was a lot of movement. You didn't see much, and at the end of it, Brendan Favola was bleeding, and Josh Fraser was sort of holding the back of his head. But rumour has it that somehow Anthony Rocker's knee connected with Josh Fraser's back of the head region. So I don't know. I'm sure everything will be discovered this evening at the tribunal.
North Melbourne's form's got to be a surprise to everybody, Paul, and they've beaten Essendon again this round. Is that 4 wins in a row?
4 on the trot, I think.
Yeah. And Glen Archer, shin boner of the century, has just beaten Keith Gregg's record at the club. He's 5 games away from 300 games. And I think Wayne Schimmelbusch holds the record at North Melbourne with 306 games.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a relationship between...
Well, there is between Keith Gregg and Archer.
Yeah.
Archer goes over to Keith Gregg's house all the time, apparently. So Gregg's happy that, he's broken his record.
I wonder if Wayne Schimmelbusch is happy that his record's up for grabs next. Because I'd say that Wayne must have been thinking in the past couple of seasons he'd hold on to that record and he'd do anything possible to keep it. Arch!
Shimma! Good to see you, mate.
Hey, how you doing?
What's with the glove you?
I just like to feel like I'm part of the game. You wear a glove, of course.
Yeah, it's an awesome game.
Yep.
Brilliant. I got Hurdy's jumper, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that, and you're getting pretty close to my old record there.
Am I? Oh, yeah, it's only a few games away. A dozen games away or something.
That's all, unless something happens in the meantime.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. It'd be great to be an honour to break your record.
It is, because it's a great record, and I've held it for a long time. But anyway, just wondering, whilst I'm down here in the rooms, I'm just having a few problems with the old toaster.
Oh, yeah?
Just the club toaster, you know.
Yeah.
Laidley asked me if you could just see if,
Anything there?
you could see how you could...
look, I won't now, because I'll have a look at it after, because I don't want to risk injury.
That's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
You got to keep your fluids up. It was a big game tonight, so
games, wasn't it?
have a bit of a drinky poo of that one. Hang on, we're just gonna.
It's so hot out there.
It is. We're just gonna put a few. This is just an energy sort of source that I used to get into.
Oh wait, now I just had a power.
No, have a sip now.
The club say,
just have a little bit now.
The club say that they want to watch our electrolytes and balance and all that stuff. So thanks for that. Anyway, I'll put it aside. I'll have it a bit later, maybe.
You got many plans on?
I got to go to the post match.
Well, why don't you come over to my house?
What, later?
Yeah.
I'll come on the weekend.
There's a tree overhanging the fence.
Well, yeah.
Can you operate a chainsaw?
Paul, the pride of South Australia, the Adelaide Crows, are they still a team to be reckoned with this year?
I think they've turned into the unpredictable team of the league. I mean, one week they're being beaten by Collingwood on their home turf, and the next week they fly up north to Queensland and convincingly do away with the Brisbane Lions.
What about if Mark Rasciuto was to come back this weekend, as has been mooted by the club? Would that make a massive difference, do you think?
Oh, I think definitely.
Their consistency?
Well, they are lacking in successful key forward. I mean, they rotate a few guys around, but I think if you had Rashudo down there, even if he was running out of a forward pocket, bang, you've got to put a decent backman on him.
The ageing player at full forward is a well-worked routine, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's spectacular. Particularly a player that the opposition are afraid of because of the whole parvo virus thing. You know, all Rashudo has to do is sort of grit his teeth, and you'll have blokes like, you know, Leo Barry, James Clement, just running out of the way. You know?
What about the team that skittled them, Collingwood? Are they the big white hope for Victoria now?
I think that's what
They're putting together some bit of consistency, which is the key, isn't it?
They can afford to drop players like Leon Davis for disciplinary reasons. Paul Medhurst has been named as emergency the last couple of weeks. He can barely get a slot in the team. I mean, I don't know what's happened down there at the Lexus Centre. Something strange, something bizarre, but suddenly they're a contender.
Now, what about the master versus the apprentice? Ross Lyon versus
Paul Roos.
And Ross Lyon took the bickies.
He certainly did.
I hate that expression. Can I take that back?
Took the bickies. That's all right. Not as cliched as some of the other
Aussie
AFL expressions, but I think it was a bit bizarre, really, because everyone sort of said, "Oh, Ross Lyon has this insider's view of Sydney."
Yeah, well, he would have, because he would have been looking over Roos's shoulder in the old days.
Yeah, but anyone that's got a DVD player can watch a few games and see how the Sydney Swans midfield operates.
But don't they have a secret list of team rules and things like that?
Well, what, get the ball and kick it?
To Barry Hall.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Do you think Lee Matthews and the Brisbane Lions will find a little bit extra when they face Mal Michael this weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
They face Essendon?
I mean, look, you know, obviously players have to face their previous clubs.
I mean, he screwed them over pretty
circumstances, badly. Yeah, but I think this is not quite, but almost to the Wayne Carey plays North Melbourne, style of game coming up for us.
And when Ackermanis plays them as well, that'll be
interesting. Yeah, gee, Acker's a bit leaner than he was.
He is.
Have you noticed?
He's lost a tiny bit of pace, though, I think.
Yeah, I think he's lost a fair bit. I think the fact he only played half a season last year has punished him a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's sad to see those older players get old. I mean, look at James Hurd on the weekend.
Yeah.
I found that a bit strange that Hurdy decided to swap jumpers with Glen Archer.
The shin boner of the century.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they've still got to play each other later on down the track. Now, do you think that's Hurdy conceding that he might not be there for the whole year?
I think it's great that they have a mutual respect for each other. In fact, I think, like, you and I have got that sort of respect. Maybe we should, because we've had it's been a good footy wrap. Probably one of the best ones we've had. Maybe we should sort of swap jumpers. Swap jumpers as a memory of
What's going? This is like the second time you've gotten your top off in today's show.
You're gonna swap it over?
No, I don't care that you've been to Europe. I don't care what they do over there. You know, men probably touching each other as friends.
What am I going to wear home?
Kissing on the cheeks. Oh, that's just. This is disgusting. This is really.